and our next guest is on the line, and I guarantee freaking to you, this guy's got some stories to tell. Let's welcome the man himself from Trixter, drummer extraordinaire, the one, the only, Mark Gus Scott. What's going on, Mark?
Man, with an intro like that, it's a good thing I didn't put one of my chicks on the phone. Thanks for having me, man. How's it going, baby? What's happening over there?
Oh, man. You're happening, man.
Well,
we got so much
just
to talk about.
Believe it or not, right now, you wouldn't believe the day I've had so far. I got on a plane at noon in Newark, flew out to Denver, love Denver, driving right now in between Denver and somewhere in Kansas. I'm not even sure. But I got to tell you, when you get to the middle America and you're used to the tri-state area, you come out here, this is freaking beautiful. I can't even begin to tell you. You know what the chicks are like out here? Forget about it. It's freaking awesome. Love it out here.
Look at you.
So talk to me. Wait, did you already talk to Donnie Most?
We just got off the phone with him. Hey,
man, I wanted to say hello to that guy. I mean, it's part of my... I grew up with this guy.
Exactly.
He formed a good part of my character, for crying out loud.
And you know what? He is the exact opposite of Ralph Mouth. He's very, quiet. Right? Yeah, he's real quiet and soft-spoken and kind of stutters, and he's not, he's not the how are you guy. He's not him at all. Right.
I guess he needs a script. What are you going to do?
Yeah. He doesn't have that charisma like you.
Oh, well, I'm a mild-mannered drummer for a rock and roll band. What am I supposed to do?
Well, let me say something.
Hibby.
Go ahead. I was going to, last week I saw you guys put out the new video for Human Error, and I saw that.
How do you like that?
I friggin' love it. I love it.
Glad.
I love it. I love it. And you know why? It was such a take back in time. When you guys hit back in the early 90s, it was such a good, perfect era. It was a good time in life, and just life seemed so incredible then. And watching that video just brought all them memories back. And I was like, this must have been a total time warp for you guys to go through those videos of yourself.
Well, that's true. You know, it's really cool. I haven't seen them in some time, but, I mean, we used to watch them from time to time, but it's been a real long time. And PJ, our bass player, he's like the keeper of all the video. He's the video whore. He hangs on to everything. So the idea came a long time ago to put out, a home video of all that stuff. I mean, when we were younger, we used to watch bands like Bon Jovi and AC/DC and, Journey. Everybody did a documentary about being on the road. It was almost cliche. But, it really inspired us to do some cool stuff. So when we said, wow, we got all this footage, let's do something. And the idea of looking back and coming forward and the idea that we're getting a second chance to do this all over again, that's the greatest thing in the world. It's a total second gift from God. So, we're very thankful. And just the idea that people want to come out and see us play, I mean, that's the greatest damn thing in the world, man. Forget about it. We got the world by the short hairs. It's a beautiful thing.
And you know what you just said? Did you ever expect this to be happening? I mean, you guys, unfortunately, you guys hit, and then grunge just wiped out everything. And then you got part of that era that I mean, how long was it that you guys did not play?
That's a good point. We broke up for about 13 years. What's really funny about what you're talking about, this whole grunge that came to town thing, I think it was 1990 our first record came out, and we really hit towards the end of 90 through 91. That was our big wave, so to speak. And that was probably the last wave for any hair band, for that matter. And I think it was 92 or 93. It was January of 93. I went to this big convention in Anaheim, California, you might be familiar with, called the NAMM Show. The NAMM, the National Association of Music Merchants. And it's a big convention they have every year. It's the biggest one in the music industry, where all the manufacturers of instruments get together with the distributors and they score deals. And rock and roll personalities come out to promote the products that they have. And I met the drummer from Pearl Jam, Dave Abraziz. Now, it was a weird time, 1993. We fell off the map, and they just started to get on the map. So we actually went out for drinks, and we had a mutual friend, and he was the coolest guy. He was really nice. And we started talking about how weird it was that in 1990 they couldn't have got arrested on MTV, and we dominated. 2 years later, the exact opposite. What used to be mainstream became alternative, and alternative became the mainstream. So it's like a weird kind of thing that happened there, And it was just weird to look back and say, wow, the whole industry really just flip-flopped, and it was truly dictated by MTV. It really was.
It was like a bizarro world happened.
Yeah, you know what, though? If you look through history, not just music, but music's also, when you look at what the trends are, short hair to long hair, there's extremities. They sway each way. So you can almost predict what's going to happen next just by looking what has happened in the past. So
Right.
If everything was hairband through the 80s, the 90s was something totally different, and I don't even know what the hell happened come with the turn of the millennium.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's the weird thing that's happening now, but maybe it's hard to predict. There's so many retro things. Like, look at the movies. Like, how many remakes are being done? Mad Max, and you could just go on and on. But I think originality is starting to get lost. It's much more difficult to become original these days.
Absolutely. And something, too, like, I was thinking, and I don't think you guys really ever got credit for it. You guys were really the ones that started the whole flannel craze, and then grunge was doing it, and they got all the credit for it.
Well, yeah, it's true. We were the first ones to put on flannel shirts, and I remember our manager talked to us about doing it, and at first I was like, dude, I used to wear those when I was a kid. My mother put me in flannel shit. So he said, you guys should, it's really cool. The flannels look really cool. I'm like, what? So I reluctantly did it. We all did. I don't know. I guess some of the other guys were into more than me, but I did it reluctantly. And then me and Peter did some magazine spread with him or something. And then everybody, just like Circus Magazine took the live shots. It was crazy. Next thing you know, you see Axl Rose doing it and all the grunge guys. And it's like, hey, now we're off MTV. We're done. And everybody took our crap. So I don't know what to say, but all kidding aside, it's documented in the media. We were like the first ones to, if that's a big claim to fame, hip hip hooray, we were the first ones to wear a flannel shirt. Yay, team.
It's funny because I thought that same exact thing that you said. I when you guys came out wearing them, I was saying to myself, like, flannel shirts, like, my mom used to make me wear those things when I was a little kid. Like, yeah.
Right. Now, we didn't necessarily button them up to the top and all that crap, but yeah, back in the freaking late 70s, early 80s, my mom, I went to school and I freaking wore those things, Yeah. So, and I had 10 of them, I like this one, I guess when I was a kid, but I never thought being in a rock and roll band, be wearing a damn flannel shirt. It's like, really?
That's funny.
And it's too hot. When you're a drummer, it's hot, so then you have to rip the sleeves off, and at least it gets better.
Right.
And, if your arms are pumped, it's a good little thing. You know what? That gives me an idea. I think I'm going to put on another flannel shirt. I'm going to rip the sleeves off for tomorrow night's show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, something I didn't know about Trixter, too, like, the way you guys were perceived in the media, like, you were like these guys, like, partially in high school, fresh out of high school, so everybody felt you were like these teenage guys, but you guys were really a band from, like, the early 80s.
Well, yes. Trixter was formed in 1982. I joined in 83, 84. So, yeah, that's when it really started, yeah. But as far as really coming to, national recognition, we got signed in 88, 89, and then the first record came out in 1990. So as far as the world really knowing about it, it didn't happen until really 1990. So... Right. I don't know. But, our sound was derived from bands like Van Halen, Kiss were big influences on us. Yeah, and, we grew up in the 80s, when we started playing rock and roll. It was late 70s to early 80s, and that's what we were around. And to be very honest with you, back in the day, the record company wanted us to lie about our ages a little bit. We shaved a couple of years off to try to capitalize on the youth thing that we didn't really... There was a weird problem that we had. The record company wanted us to go young, and we didn't want to, but we reluctantly did so. But if you're going to pull a trick like that, so to speak, you got to follow through on it. I mean, look at New Kids on the Block. They were really young, and they kicked ass, and look at what they've done. I mean, we were the kind of band, if we're going to attempt to be a youth band, so to speak, and you don't want to do Tiger Beat magazine, that's a conflict of interest. You know what I mean? Either you got to drive it all the way or don't drive it at all. So... You see what I'm saying? You can't. If you're going to attempt to market in a certain avenue, you got to embrace that market.
Absolutely. Now, looking at that, though, I mean, like, you guys did something that not many people could say. Like, you guys were literally a band through your teenage years, and you guys stayed a band, you got signed, you made that album, and you dominated MTV. Like when MTV would do that countdown, and people like me were in front of our TVs every day at 4 or 5 o'clock, and you guys were the top of that countdown every freaking day.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that's one great thing of fortune that we had. It all started with Smash or Trash. Just to give you some background, when we first got our album done, we go immediately to radio. We start going to the smaller station. They start playing it. And then Z-Rock was big at the time, and that was a nationally syndicated rock station. We started to kick ass on that, and that was fantastic. But to get those major commercial hit radio stations, we had a problem. That every time we went to a commercial hit radio station, they said, oh, what's MTV doing with the record? And we weren't on MTV yet. And then next, we go over to MTV and say, what's up? And I say, well, what's major commercial hit radio doing? And,
wow.
So the problem is we weren't getting any ground.
Right.
I'm being belted here by the guys that busted my hump. so the problem was getting over that hump, a little bit of radio, a little bit of MTV. So what happened? MTV did a challenge for us. They said, hey, listen, guys, we're going to do a Smash or Trash. And if we're going to put that video on there, I'm going to have one phone number. If people like it, they're going to call that phone number. And if they don't like it, they're going to trash you and call the other phone number and say, we hate it. So we were taking a gamble, but it was a fair shot. So they put on Give It To Me Good for the first time, and it smashed at like 80-something%. We were very happy. And it started us out into medium rotation on MTV. That means they put it on once in a while, and that's nice, you know?
Sure.
And all of a sudden one day, they have this thing called Dial MTV. And we're like, holy crap, we're number 7. Holy shit. we debuted at number 7. So, everybody and their mother starts dialing MTV. And they're number 6, number 5, number 4. And it all ended up until this one day we were playing the Newport Music Hall in Ohio. And our manager comes in and says, gentlemen, we got to have a talk. And we're like, it's before the show. And we're like, oh, my God. Just a few days earlier, I got caught smashing up a hotel room. And I'm like, oh, God, now what did I do? What did he catch me on? So I was all worried. Like, oh, crap. He goes, boys, you're number 1 on MTV. We're like, it was just, everything stopped for a moment. It was really one of the greatest things in the world to have, to think that our idols were in that spot, and we were possibly nipping at their heels. It was really, really something special.
That's awesome. That was an incredible thing. It really was.
And that's what started it off. And then Give It To Me Good was number 1 for like 8 weeks straight or something like that. Our second single was 1 in a Million. That was like 6 weeks at number 1. And everybody's cracking jokes here. And then the exact opposite happened to us. Our big crossover hit, Surrender, was supposed to be the big power ballad. That we were so excited for that to come out. It debuted at for the first day number 2. The next day it was like number 1 for 2 weeks. And guess what happened? MTV canceled Dial MTV. So we were the last number 1 video to ever be played on MTV. We died at number 1.
Well, if you want a place to die at, that's the place, right?
Yeah, but man, it's so frustrating. We were never played on MTV again. Crazy kind of thing, and that's when the turn of the tide started to happen. And I think the one thing that we really couldn't figure out is that during that time we were on tour with Warren Firehouse. Now I got to tell you, in 1991, summer '91, that was the biggest tour of the year. So we're playing in front of sold-out arenas, sold-out amphitheaters. We're looking at 20 in the world. To give you an example, World Amphitheater in Chicago, 33,000 people sold out. Who the hell would have thought that bill would have sold 33,000 seats? God bless America. So MTV dumps us. We're looking at it as a sea of people and saying, what the hell is MTV doing? How is it even possible? It didn't register quite yet. I mean, because they stopped playing it, didn't mean the next day everybody stopped listening to rock and roll. But it slowly turned the tide. And over the course of a year, with the introduction of grunge and no airplay to substantiate what the hair bands were doing, things really changed in America. They really did. So,
how about now? Yeah. I mean, can you really, it's still hard for me to, think of MTV as an actual station. It's nothing that it started as.
I got to tell you, I don't even know why they call it MTV anymore. I mean, is there any music videos being played on MTV?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. There's VH1. They play some videos. They play a lot of different stuff, and that's cool. I mean, every once in a while, somebody calls you, hey, I saw you on VH1 Classics. They played Trixter. I'm like, that's amazing. That's great. There's also an infrastructure like Air Nation with Eddie Trunk carrying the flag on XM Satellite, which is a very powerful force, you know? But back then, there wasn't that, that wasn't happening. Z-Rock was going out, and MTV stopped playing, so there was this lack of force to bring the music to the masses, and things really started to change. MTV was the biggest megaphone to the children, you know, to the people that were eating up, and they were just eating what they were feeding. And unfortunately, they weren't feeding us anymore. so that's what ultimately video killed the radio star, and they knew what they were doing from the moment they started broadcasting. And if they wanted to dictate the certain rules of engagement that this is what's going to happen in the next decade, then that's what the frick happened, pal. We couldn't understand it at the time because MTV cuts you on dial MTV at number 1, and we're playing in front of 30,000 people. Does that make any freaking sense whatsoever? No, but that's what happened.
Not at all.
That's what happened, pal. It's a weird thing. And listen, it wasn't a crime against Trixter. I mean, bands like Bon Jovi and Def Leppard that were selling 8 million, 10 million records on records like New Jersey and Hysteria. What do you think their next records did? 2 million.
Nothing.
Right. That's what, a 75% loss of sales? How do you think Trixter weathered that storm? That was a rough freaking blow, man. So the whole face really changed. It was a weird thing. And we're just so fortunate now to be back and doing it again. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Now, how about that? Like, when you guys went through that whole time when you guys weren't playing, now, you were pretty much out of music. Like, you went and got an actual job and you started a business. I mean, you were doing everything but music.
That's really true. You know what? I everybody went off and did different stuff, It was, I get, growing older, I guess everybody explored new things. A bunch of guys got married, and went off in different directions. We were very fortunate to what we had. And, I guess, age did something to us. I'm not going to say it was good or bad, but it went in different directions. And, the fact that, we got it back now, and there's people that actually want to see us play. That's amazing. I mean, we played some pretty damn big shows. When you have festivals like Rocklahoma or Rockfest in Wisconsin or the Bayou down south in Louisiana, I mean, there's some crazy stuff going on. We're playing tomorrow in Hays, Kansas at the Wild West Festival with Starship. I mean, is that amazing? People need to be freaking packed. And as long as it don't rain. Please don't rain. I'm praying to the guy.
Right.
But that's amazing. Hello, is anyone home? I mean, hey, Mom, I'm going to Kansas. Love you. And we're playing all over America this summer. It's a beautiful thing. We've got offers to go to Europe, and we're going to follow them the frig up. We're having a hell of a time. As long as PJ doesn't kill us on the way there, right, Jay? He's not talking. He's keeping it at 85. It's okay. Nice and safe speed.
I actually met PJ Price. It was probably like 10 years ago at a club in Philly. Steven Adler's band was playing when it was like, I think he was calling it Suki Jones at the time. And PJ showed up with Eric Turner of Warrant, and they got up on stage and played Sin City with Adler.
PJ played Sin City with Adler in Philly with Eric Turner?
Yeah, he remembers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
He says he got that on video. Also, we're gonna have to put that in our next video.
Hey, you know what? So do I.
Oh, is that right? You're the king.
It's funny. I just came across the video like last week. I was like, oh shit, I do have the video of that.
That's awesome. Yeah, good times, good friends. Those Warrant guys are totally cool. We became brothers with those guys. We conquered America with them. One of the greatest times of our lives.
That's awesome. So, I mean, now new album's out, Human Error. How is it now? I mean, this is actually the second studio album you guys have put out since you guys got back together. Is there any difference now, like going in the studio recording, than there was when you guys were younger?
Well, one thing's for sure is the manner in which records are made. back then we had to pay $2,000 to $3,000 a day for studio equipment. To rent out a studio. I don't know if people really realize that. And then you pay for your producer and your engineer and all that, and I mean, it adds up. And then you have to pay back the record company for all the money they fronted to make the damn record. That's a lot of frickin' money. Yeah. Now, these days, thank God Steven has his own studio, so we do it at Steve's house. You know? But I got to tell you, hats off to Steve and PJ. Steve knows how to work the damn controls. PJ did production on the latest one, and you know what? Came out pretty damn good, God bless him. So, you know, we think about it's just from the expense standpoint alone, and the idea that if something doesn't happen in one day, you don't have to think, oh, shoot, we blew $5,000 today. I came out with nothing. That ain't the deal, man. Let's say if I'm playing like crap one day, we'll take a day off, we'll hit it the next day. And with no money lost, thank God that's the situation now. So I think in the end, the product reflects something really wonderful, a real relaxed environment, the idea to be creative and not have to worry about deadlines so much or, we're wasting the budget or some crap like that. I mean, it's amazing. It's really, we're very, very fortunate. And I got to tell you, the past two records that we did, and Human Error, now that it's out, I think I speak for the whole band. It's the proudest we've been of putting out a record. It's like, it's really something that we truly put our hearts into, and we're really proud to say, hey, yeah, we did that, you know.
And it's you guys. Like, it's a complete team effort from top to bottom. It's not like you said, like the record company's there doing all this for you or over your shoulder or blah 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 blah.
I got to tell you something. That's a good point. What you bring up. Back in the day, there was a lot of concern. Oh, what's the single? What are we gonna do? Oh, how are we gonna promote this? What's the price? Like, slow down, take it easy, big suit wearing person. You know, our president Serafino, the president of Frontiers EMI. Dude, it's a beautiful thing. There's never been one bit of pressure from the first meeting we had with this guy. He's just totally in tune, totally a rock and roll fan. And he'd heard the stuff. He said, guys love it. Guys love it. Want to do another record? Okay. It wasn't even, it was like the craziest thing. He really digs the stuff, and we never had a problem. He's a sweetheart of a guy, and they put the product out, so God bless them, hats off. I'll carry the flag for Frontiers any day of the week.
I'll tell you what, I mean, I love the stuff Frontiers is doing. I mean, where they actually are putting an honest effort. They're putting you guys like you out there that made great music in the past that are still making great music today, and they're they're having you guys do videos, which I argue this with some people. I still think videos are just as important today as they were in the days of MTV.
Absolutely. Now, when here's another thing. You're no longer at the mercy of MTV whether they're going to play it or not. When you have something like YouTube and you have the opportunity to email anyone anywhere for free, that's an amazing commodity that wasn't even comprehended back 20 years ago. People couldn't understand the value of something like that. You don't even need record companies anymore. Kids are doing it on their own, man. They're going to go and get their Pro Tools out. They're going to make a song. They're going to put a video together, put it on YouTube, send it out to everyone and their mother, and if it gets a reaction, guess what? People are going to watch that damn thing, and it's not going to cost you a penny to make it happen. That's pretty amazing. That gives a lot of freedom to an artist. Just the other counter effect is sometimes maybe getting, paid for doing it. The problem with file sharing these days, that can bite an artist in the ass. So there is a trade-off there, and I'll be honest with you, I like to play live, so, I'm not that worried about it. But, it's a different world than it was 20 years ago, that's for sure.
That seems like to be like the only down point now, I think, of the whole music industry is like you guys have much more freedom, you got much more control, you guys can you can basically do what you want to. You don't have to play by anybody's rules but your own. But then at the end of the day, too, you don't have the big time paychecks like you used to, which kind of sucks.
Well, you do on the tour circuit. You know what I mean? I mean, if you have that kind of market share, you can go out there, put up your little sign, say, hey, come to my show. And if you have hits on your videos, you're going to get people. If you have that kind of download power, then, man, you're going to be able to draw. So it's a kind of world now where you either put up or shut up. And either you're going to be able to stand on your feet and, and get something out of the fruit of your efforts, or, you don't have that record company machine promoting you at mega dollar expenses, either you making it happen or not. And it's I don't want to say it's better or worse, but it certainly is different than the way it was 20 years ago.
Does
it
it
certainly
surprise
has leveled
you too?
the playing field.
Does it surprise you too? Does it surprise you or even any of the guys in the band, like now with like the world of social media, like where you guys can post something out there and get such a reaction from people and people still have interest in you all of these years later?
Yeah, I got to tell you, that's probably the most amazing part. Yeah, I think even 20 years ago, thinking about it, even when we disbanded, I think we always knew one day we'd all get back together. But the idea of like, my God, are they still going to want to, come see it? And the answer, thank God, for the most part is yes. That's why we're out here doing it, And that, I got to tell you, that puts something in your heart that's something really beautiful, and that people still get off on it like that, including us, It's like the coolest thing in the world. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, it's a gift from God, the idea that we get to do this all over again on the scale that we do it. In numero Padre, Figlio, Spiritu Santo, Amen. God bless America. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, too funny.
Hey, Mr. Bus, hey, Mr. Bus, when's the next frickin' bus, pal?
So you guys are playing this weekend. You're playing tomorrow night, like you said, the Wild West Festival down in Frontier Park. Hayes,
Kansas. Yes, you're right. Yeah, that's great. In Hayes, Kansas, correct. Frontier Park. We're playing with the band Starship, as in Mickey Thomas from Starship. And then the next day, Saturday, July 4th, we'll be in Golden, Colorado at the Buffalo Rose. And that's a headlining show. Colorado's always been very, very good to us. I got to tell you, I can't tell you, all kidding aside, how much I really love Colorado. Rocky Mountains, we played, sold out Red Rocks Amphitheater. We've got some real fine memories there. Just one of the true heartlands of America right now. It's just an amazing weekend for us. It really is.
That's awesome. Now, how about, have you guys ever played Philly? I mean, you guys are like, an hour and a half up the road from friggin' Philly. I've never seen Trixter play.
Time out. When we filmed that Surrender video, immediately we started filming at 6 a.m. on a freaking, I don't even know what. I think it was in April in 1991, the first time. And then guess where we ran right after that? We got thrown into a van and drove in the rain right down to the Spectrum. Sold out opening for the Scorpions. We kicked it in the ass, pal. I'm not even blowing smoke at you. I'm telling you, we rocked that freaking joint that night. And what happened a year later? Oh, opening up for Kiss. Where'd we go in Philadelphia? The Spectrum again. Hello, love you.
Well, then I saw it. Then I did see it.
Freak out of Apollo Creed, okay? That's what I'm talking about.
Which Kiss tour was that?
1992, the Revenge Tour.
Oh, fuck yeah, I was there.
See, you forget. It's so long ago. You probably had some chick in the parking lot. I know how it works. It's okay. Bag, it's all good.
No, actually, I was there with a girl I didn't want to be there with, and she bought me the ticket. That's why.
Oh, well, that's not my fault. You didn't take care of that in the parking lot, pal? Come on. You didn't get a little something there that night? Talk to me, Banks. What do we got?
Unfortunately, I did. I didn't want to. That's the problem.
What?
I had to take one for the team.
Oh, well, every man's put in that position from time to time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all kidding aside, we played, I must say, more recently, we have not been down to Philly. Shame on us. And honestly, Philly's been very good to us. We played many a show around the Philadelphia area, including Philly proper. So, I'll tell you what, we're going to have to work on that. We're going to have to work on that. Absolutely. And I promise to keep you posted in the event that we do book something. You're going to be the second person to know.
How about that? I know where to find you. You're easy to find.
That's it. There.
All right, so Human Error.
Johnny Bush, and I come running.
Human Error. Where can everybody buy it, get it, and you know what, people? Freaking buy it. Buy your music. I'm so sick of people stealing music.
That's very kind. Yeah, honestly, iTunes, Amazon, anywhere you go to download music, you'll find it, of course. And in some select stores, I know FYE carries it. Check your local Sam Goody, things like that. It's all over the place. So if you just Google it, you'll find it. It's a beautiful thing. Trixter Human Era. That's all you do.
How about here's one for you. I was in my local FYE last Friday night, And I haven't stepped in one of them in a long time, and I was shocked because I went to FYE and then I went to Barnes and Nobles, and they had a nice display in both of these stores of vinyl.
Really?
And I was shocked. And then I saw the prices.
They had vinyl in FYE?
Yes.
Wow. I know it's making a comeback to the extent that the major stores are carrying it. I find that interesting.
And the prices are, let me explain this to you. They had Nirvana in utero was $60 freaking.
Whoa, is that right? Now hold on, are these newly pressed items or are they
newly pressed? Newly pressed.
Really? That's interesting. So it's like a collector's item thing.
I don't know what it is, but yeah. I have not seen this big a display of vinyl in literally probably 25 years or more.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting. I got to take a look at that. I don't even have a freaking record player.
Well, they had them there too.
Yeah, I guess I would imagine they would. They're probably selling
it's
the hell
all
out of
USB. Yeah, USB. Hook it right up into your laptop or whatever. You're good to go.
Right. Oh, that's so ridiculous. How about that? I didn't even think about that. That's
and you can also now transfer your old vinyl USB onto digital.
That's right. Oh, that's crazy. Then you got the pops and whatnot, but they say that the reproduction of the sound is much truer in vinyl than even CD, which is pretty amazing. But you still get pops in static whatever if it's making contact like that. So I don't really get it. I don't know, but I'm a drummer. I can't hear that good anyway.
This is your cell phone, right? I actually took a picture of the display in freaking Barnes and Noble because I was shocked. I had to show.
Oh, zap it to me, yeah, please.
Yeah, I will. Cool.
I appreciate it.
So, Human Error. Go to iTunes. Go to your local music store. Check and see if they got it. If not, demand it. Buy it. Don't steal it. Rock out. It's a great friggin' album. Go on YouTube. Check out the videos. Go Back in Time. The song Human Error. It's a killer tune. Great video.
Thanks.
There's another single for what's that one? Rockin' to the
Edge of the Night.
That's it.
That's a great tune. That's a great freaking tune. Yeah. But between that and the new one, Human Era, there's some cool stuff to see, even for free on YouTube. How's that?
Absolutely.
But keep in mind, for all things Trixter, for all of our tour dates, you can check out our website at trixterrocks.com. All the tour dates coming up are on there, and there's a lot of new ones being added all the time. I know, aside from this week being in Kansas and Colorado, next week we're in Detroit and Ohio. And I get past that, I'm really not sure. I know we got Idaho coming up. We've got a lot of Midwestern stuff. Then we got West Coast. We got a bunch of California. So go to TrixterRocks.com, check out the dates, and I just hope we'll see everybody out there. And I'll tell you what, I promise you, Big, we're going to freaking got to make something happen down in Philly.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're going to all the hoes. You're going to Idaho, Ohio. Get some Philly.
So what's the problem? What's the problem?
Right, exactly. What's the problem?
You want to go too, don't you?
Oh, too funny. All right, Mark, before I let you go, I got to get you to cut me an ID, though. If you can say, Mark Gus Scott of Trixter, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm a rolling.
You're charismatic. Spruce it up. I trust you.
You got it. Hey, rock fans, Mark Gus Scott from Trixter. Listen to my favorite radio station in the Philadelphia area. It's Totally Driven Radio. How's that?
Nice. Very good. You didn't have an aneurysm either.
Oh, do you want to put you in it?
If you want to, go ahead and knock your socks off.
Do you call yourself Bay Rackney? Is that good?
Yeah, or just Bay.
Bay. All right, cool. Take two. Hey, hanging out with Bay. I'm Mark Gus Scott from Trixter. Hey, my man. Cooking it. That fucking sucked. Let's try take three.
Now, I'm keeping this. The
ones with the errors are the best. Then you can roll them. That's good. You ready? Here we go. We'll try take three. Hey, Mark Scott from Trixter, hanging out with my buddy Bay right here on Totally Driven Radio. Turn it up, baby. Up and blow the needle out. All right, cool, man.
Cool. All right, I'm going to play Human Error for you. So there you go. Be safe out there.
I appreciate it, bro. Thanks so much.
Have a safe trip Safe on the road.
Thank
Rock
you.
out.
Man, I
and,
appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. Take care, Mark. Tell everybody I said yo, and hope to see you guys soon.
Let's keep in touch. I promise you, we come down that way, I'll let you know.
Absolutely.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks, man. Take care.
You
All right, everybody, there he goes. You got it. There he goes, Mark, Gus Scott, and the boys from Trixter, literally driving to their next stop. That dude's a party.
Oh, yeah, he was in a good mood.
He's always like that. He's always friggin' like that. He is on fire, that dude. So, all right, so let's play the tune Human Error. Like I said, everybody, if you were a fan of Trixter back in the day, even if you're just a fan of that era of music, it's a great video because, I mean, most of the video is like old home movie footage and stuff like that, a lot of old home footage of like on stage, backstage. It's just a good thing. So, great song, too, as well. It's called Human Error. It's the title track and new single off the latest Trixter album, Human Error. Here it is.